Hey, if you're here, there's a good chance something in your life feels a bit off. Maybe you used to know who you were, and now you're not so sure. Maybe you made a decision that didn't work out, or a season of life ended, and you didn't realize you'd built your whole identity around it. That feeling, that low grade fog of I don't know where I'm going, it's more common than anyone talks about. And the strange thing is, we tend to treat it like a personal failure, like confidence is something other people were just born with, and you somehow missed the handout. But here's what's actually true: confidence isn't a personality trait, it's a skill. And like any skill, you build it through use, not through waiting until you feel ready. When we feel lost, our instinct is to stop, to wait for clarity before we act. We tell ourselves that once I figure out what I want, then I'll move forward. But clarity rarely comes from sitting still, it almost always comes from motion. Think about the last time you felt genuinely sure of yourself. I'd be willing to bet it wasn't because you sat down one day and had an epiphany. It was because you did something repeatedly, got a little better at it, and started to trust yourself. That trust, that's what confidence actually is, not the absence of doubt, just the belief that you can handle what's in front of you. One of the biggest mistakes people make when trying to rebuild confidence is aiming too big too fast. They think, I need to fix everything, but when every action feels high stakes, you freeze. And freezing feels like more evidence that you're lost. So the move is counterintuitive: go smaller, embarrassingly small. Want to get back in shape? Don't commit to 6 days a week at the gym. Put your shoes on, that's it, just the shoes. Want to figure out a new career path? Don't overhaul your entire life. Spend 20 minutes reading about something that vaguely interests you. Small actions matter because they create evidence. Evidence that you showed up, that you followed through, and over time, your brain starts updating its story about who you are. That story becomes I'm someone who does things. Here's something I found genuinely useful. You don't have to generate all your confidence from scratch. When your own tank is empty, you're allowed to borrow it. Find someone who believes in your capacity, a friend or a mentor, even a writer or a teacher you've never met. Let their belief in people like you hold some weight while yours is rebuilding. This isn't weakness, it's smart resource management. And while you're at it, watch how you talk in yourself. Not in a toxic positivity way where you plaster affirmations on your mirror and pretend everything's fine. Just notice when the voice in your head is being factually cruel. Something like, I'm such a disaster. Is that actually true? Or is it just a habit? Swap the cruelty for something more honest. This is hard right now. Is a lot more accurate than I'm a failure. A big piece of confidence, one most people skip, is learning to tolerate uncertainty. The people who seem most self-assured aren't the ones with all the answers. They're the ones who've made peace with not having them. Being lost isn't a problem to be solved as quickly as possible. Sometimes it's a transition, and transitions, by definition, are uncomfortable. You're between things, that's okay. You don't have to perform certainty you don't feel. What you can do is stay curious instead of fearful about it. I wonder what I'll find out about myself in this season is a very different energy than I need to figure this out immediately or something is wrong with me. So here's where we land. Confidence when you feel lost doesn't come from having it all figured out. It comes from taking small actions and trusting you can handle what they bring. From borrowing belief when yours is low. From catching the cruelest stories your mind tells about you and asking whether they are actually true. And from getting just slightly more comfortable with not knowing. You don't have to feel ready to start. You just have to start. The feeling of being lost, it's not the end of your story. It's usually just the beginning of the next chapter. The one where you find out you're more capable than you thought.